Hi, Sandro here. Can a complete beginner control a helicopter without immediately crashing? Well, today we're at Loft Dynamics in order to find that out. And behind me is their impressive simulator. Let's get started.
This is the H125 helicopter simulator by Loft Dynamics and the most modern device of its kind. Unlike the classic bulky simulators you have probably seen on TV, this device is relying on VR technology, a major technical breakthrough that lets most of the weight be stripped and reduces the cost by an order of magnitude. But don't let the simplistic appearance fool you. This simulator is a full replacement for the traditional ones, and the company developing it is the first to have managed the full certification for pilot training in this way. I've made 2 videos about the topic, an explanatory one where you get to discover this mighty machine and its creators, and the video you're watching right now, where I'm actually going to sit in it and just see what would happen if a complete noob were to attempt to just fly off in a helicopter with 0 prior experience. What could possibly go wrong, right? This is what the real Airbus H125 helicopter looks like. It has 2 rotors, which are basically giant fans for moving air. The one on top moves air down and is so strong that the wind it produces exceeds the weight of the helicopter, lifting it up into flight. However, with that, the helicopter no longer touches the ground, and since the turbine keeps producing torque, by Newton's third law, the helicopter would start spinning into the other direction uncontrollably. This is where the second rotor, mounted on the tail, comes in. It pushes air to the side, countering the unwanted rotational force and keeping the helicopter stable. In order to control flight, the pilot has 3 control inputs: the cyclic stick, the collective lever, and the tail rotor pedals. The most impressive of them is the cyclic, which gives lateral control. You see, this stick is connected to this dish on top of the helicopter. The dish is connected to each blade of the main rotor and will tilt it depending on its position, increasing and decreasing the lift the blade generates at a specific location relative to the helicopter. When the pilot moves the cyclic stick forward, the rotor blades will generate less lift whenever they are at the front of the helicopter and more lift whenever they are at the back. I was told that this will make the helicopter go forward, and I thought it would kind of feel like a gondola accelerating. But that's not what it feels like at all. When you move this stick forward, the whole chopper violently tilts forward and you're suddenly staring at the ground below you. And then that causes the helicopter to accelerate. It's absolutely terrifying, but more on that later. The second control input is the collective lever. This one is easier to understand, as pulling it up changes the attack angle of all the blades uniformly, causing the helicopter to rise when you pull it up and to sink when you push it down. This lever also contains the throttle, which you twist to adjust the turbine's power. However, the H125 is able to maintain a constant rotor speed automatically, so it can be controlled without operating the throttle. Lucky me. Finally, there are the anti-torque pedals, sometimes called the tail rotor pedals. They change the attack angle of the tail rotor, increasing or decreasing its thrust, and therefore causing the helicopter to rotate in either direction.
And that's it. So how hard can it possibly be to get this baby flying? Oh boy, was I about to find out.
Well, I must admit that I was a lot more nervous than I would have expected for boarding what is basically a ridiculously over-engineered, cutting-edge VR gaming rig. My first surprise came when I put on the VR headset and I was instantly teleported to a parallel universe. In VR, each and every one of these props become fully working devices. Instead of having to carry bulky controllers, high-performance cameras track my bare hands super accurately, allowing me to interact with everything. I had tried out VR before, but this thing is on another level. It's almost surreal. I felt like I was teleported into a science fiction movie. It's an undescribable experience. Every single button had authentic haptic feedback so that it would feel exactly the same as its pendant in a real helicopter. But already yet another surprise awaited me. The first thing to do for me in the virtual universe was to take an eye test on the top of a mountain. Turns out this is for adjusting the projection to my eyes, so I could see everything properly when I was going on my first ever flight. And after that, the platform started to rise, getting ready to imitate the movements of my virtual chopper and give me a good proper shake should I mess this up. Normally, a new pilot would start training mid-flight in the safety of a large free airspace with a trained pilot holding the controls alongside me, but I'd rather be plunged into the deep end, plus there's only one seat in a simulator. I wanted to start by attempting a takeoff. Per recommendation of the simulator operator, I agreed to skip the lengthy startup procedures and start the scenario on the ground at the airfield of Speckferaltorf, the turbine already up and running. All I had to do was take off, fly to Zurich Airport and land there. Easy, right? My operator was a software engineer, not a pilot. However, he had done many test runs himself to check on his software and he could walk me through the basics. My first job was to get a feel for the controls and find the neutral points, because on the ground it's really hard to tell how much input you give and in which direction. And I started by asking the most stupid question.
What's the part break called again? Collective. The collective, okay. Okay, this brings me up, down, left, right, forward, backwards.
Yes.
And then feet to turn.
Yeah, very important. When you pull the collective, then the helicopter starts turning around its own axis. So whenever you do something with your left hand, you also need to do something with your feet.
Okay.
To counter the different power forces that are going on the helicopter. Okay, this is all about your introduction. The controls are yours.
Okay, yes, something started budging. Oh, okay.
Luckily, as you move the controls, the helicopter tends to lean a bit into the direction you're commanding, giving you a rough idea of what you are inputting. And then it was time to pull on the collective and get this thing off the ground.
And try to fix a point somewhere here, like if you would stand on one leg and try to balance. And always very slow and fine movements.
Okay, I think I'm hovering. Okay, let's go down again. This is freaky.
This feels like trying to balance a car on the head of a pin. The controls are extremely sensitive, and the slightest movement causes the helicopter to wildly veer around. I quickly lost control and the unavoidable happened.
Okay, I don't really control, like, let's go to height, this. Oh my god, this is freaky.
Give right foot.
Okay.
Okay. And try to gain forward speed. So if you push your nose down a little bit, so you get forward speed.
It's too much.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Push your nose down a little bit.
This is too
Right
much.
foot, right foot. Okay, stop now.
Thank you. Oh my god, so I would have crashed spectacularly.
But you did very good, actually.
Alright, shall we try this again?
Yeah. Are you feeling okay?
Yes, my heart is racing. I'm absolutely
Well, you did astonishingly good, really.
Really? Thank you so much.
My second run went a lot better. With a bit of luck, I managed to get off the ground quickly enough to have some wiggle room in the air, after which I gained speed and actually made it to Zurich Airport. However, it turns out that the effect of the pedals is counteracted by speed, and I had them all wrong. So when I managed to reduce the speed by leaning backwards, the machine started rotating. By that time, I had become so disoriented and dizzy that I couldn't tell left from right anymore, operating the pedals all wrong and crashing into my destination in a fireball. With my head spinning so bad that I could barely stand, it was finally time for a break, and I was eventually able to get some lunch. In the afternoon, we tried again, and this time recorded the VR as well as the operator's screen for the entire duration of the flight. Now that you have a rough idea of what's going on, I'll show you flights 3 and 4, mostly uncommented, so that you can get an impression of my struggles. Even though I must warn you, when I get nervous, I tend to talk non-stop, and I was virtually dying in there, so please excuse my constant jabbering.
Let's pull this, oh my god.
And now you also need to balance.
Okay, here we go. And now right foot.
Push a bit to the right foot, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Looking good.
Okay. Whoa, ho, ho. Pull up, I guess.
Yes.
Okay,
More
left
right
foot.
No right foot.
Okay, more right foot. And this is not looking good. I think I'm going right foot.
Okay, we crashed.
Here we crashed. Oh no.
Have another try.
Let's have another try. One death. Many more to go, I presume.
Okay.
Whew. My heart is racing. Okay. Right to go right. This is inverted for me. Okay. Let's go up and forward. Right to go right. Okie. Right to go right. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I got
You
this.
can go with your right hand a little bit more forward. So this is too much forward.
Too much forward?
But that you can get into a stable forward flight.
Okay, this feels so weird.
We made it off the ground.
That's
Good
nice.
job.
Thank you.
So, currently you're going to the northeast. You would have to go a little bit more to the left to go northwest.
Going left.
To go ahead to Zurich.
Okay, turning left. Okay.
Looking good. Okay. Now, little hint. You see that red rope or string in front of your cockpit, right?
Yes.
It shows the wind direction.
Okay.
So currently you're not going straight forward, but a little bit leftish.
Okay.
And this is something you can correct with your pedals.
So let me try to go a little bit more right. Okay, that's worse. Okay. There's so many axes I need to control at the same time.
Helicopter flying is tough.
Okay. I think I
A little bit better, yeah.
this the other way. Okay. I think it's somewhat straight now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Time to orient. Aviate. What was it? Aviate, navigate, communicate.
All at the same time. Let's go.
Yes, lovely.
You're on your good path to Zurich.
I am. I think I see the city in front of me. Okay. How am I on power, by the way? Do I need to pull up a little more?
Looks good.
Excellent. This is actually fun.
You can see your speed on the top right small monitor on the left side. That's your
Okay,
speed.
that says 85?
Knots.
Okay, great.
That's a good speed.
Okay. So this is now surprisingly relaxing.
Yep. We will talk again when you're landing.
Oh, lovely. Okay, bye, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up, you have to pull it down again at some point. That's how it is. You're still ascending? I don't know if that's intended.
So now
You're descending quite a lot.
Descending?
Yeah.
Where do I see that?
I see that. You see the altitude, so you know where the
Oh, it's
speed
the
is.
93, 95 thingy.
Yeah, it's on the right.
Okay, oh god. What is that, feet?
I think so, yeah. Also, you have to go a little bit more to the
Oh
left.
yes, I forgot to navigate.
It's all at the same time.
Let's see if I can do the left thingy. Woo! Okay, so I lean into the curve and then I just keep it level
Yep.
and then I lean out of the curve once I'm done.
That's how you do it.
Okay. So I'm flying towards the city. I think I see the airport.
Good start.
Thank you. Okay.
You're roughly halfway between the airports.
I am feeling slightly dizzy already.
I mean, you're maneuvering quite a lot.
Yes, I am not intending to. But am I too fast? Or because it's starting?
You should lower the collective a bit
Okay.
and try to stabilize the helicopter in a way that it goes straight forward and doesn't wiggle that much.
Okay.
That would help a lot.
I will try to do slow movements. Why am I now tilting so much? I feel like the helicopter starts to tilt on its own.
That's not entirely true.
Okay.
The cyclic is just very, very, very sensitive.
Okay, so my speed is about stable, my height is about stable, and I have the airport in front of me, and the string thingy is not right. So I need to push with my left or right foot to correct it to the left. You know what, let's just try.
I think you
Okay.
have to push with the right foot a bit. But it's 50-50.
It was the left one.
Okay. I always get it wrong. As I said, I'm not a flight instructor. Okay, but I know you need to go lower.
Lower.
Like the airport is kind of close,
Okay,
and
okay.
you're relatively high for the distance to the airport that you're having.
So I am now trying to descend.
Yeah, that looks
Less
good.
power, much less power. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I am descending. At least something is moving.
You are descending.
Okay, 95. No, what is it? 94. I'm descending very slowly. Is that possible?
Roughly 500 feet per minute.
Okay.
That's okay. You're going down. You could go a bit more. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
You can also tilt the nose a bit forward.
And then I go faster. No?
Yeah.
Do I want to go faster?
No, you go faster downwards. That's what you're descending faster than.
But then how do I stop?
Pulling up again.
Okay. Sounds fun.
So landing an helicopter roughly is very similar to landing an airplane from the approach, and except that you don't grind over the runway, but shortly before you touch down, you go into hover and then you land. Easy.
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 Easy. Okay, I am coming in hot and from the wrong angle. Luckily, I have landed many airplanes in my life before. Paper airplanes, that is.
It's something.
All of them have crashed. Okay, I feel like I'm somewhat on a line towards the airport.
You are flying sideways.
Sideways. Okay, more to the left. Okay, I am way too fast, am I not? Okay, so now I want to do like a turn. I have no idea what my reference is.
You can land wherever you want here. Like there is no.
Okay, let me try to line up on a runway at least somewhat.
Sure, go ahead.
It says 32. Whatever that means.
So with the current descent rate, you would maybe land in the second half of the runway.
Which is fine for me.
Yeah.
As long as I land on the runway. Okay.
You're still going sideways.
It's looking sideways. Okay.
Get your feet correct, because when you're slow, you're going to turn around your own axis.
Okay. Now things are starting to go faster. Oof. Okay, do I do less power now, I guess, right?
Less power, almost collective completely down, and then you can pull the right hand to the back that you stop.
Okay, so I see my shadow. I don't think I'm gonna try the runway. Okay, stop slowly. Whoa, okay.
That's good.
I am tilting
Now you
backwards.
need to get down a bit more and to get into hovering.
Hovering. Easy.
Yeah,
Easier said than done. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, forget about the runway. I'll just try to get down alive.
Okay, that's a good start. It's a good goal you're having.
Okay.
Keep this, and then as soon as you're on close to the ground, pull a bit up that you're not close to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Okay.
Looks good.
100.
Left hand a bit up. Left hand a bit up. A bit more. Yeah. I mean, if you tilt it over, you would have survived. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to Zurich.
So, can a complete beginner fly a helicopter? My answer is only if they have a lot of time, a fully prepared chopper, and get very, very lucky to make it up and down in one piece. But how realistic is this simulator? Very realistic, according to Gerald Biener, one of the world's most experienced and successful helicopter pilots. But I will tell you more about this in the other video, along with the story of how Loft Dynamics came to be, interviews with the simulator's inventor himself, and a visit at world-famous Air Zermatt, who pioneered the usage of this mighty machine in an actual helicopter airline. I will take this opportunity to remind you that you can support my independent work as a Patreon. Thank you very much to the people who have done so and are now indicated on the screen. And with that, I would like to wholeheartedly thank the Loft Dynamics team for this incredible day at their headquarters. In particular, Flo for the flawless organization, Fabi for making this video possible, Aldo for being my morning operator, and most importantly, Lars for bringing me in contact with this amazing company and being my afternoon operator. If you want to know more about them, check out the description where I'm linking to the explanatory video. Thank you so much for watching and see you in another one.